So I have a scene set up here, nothing fancy, just my lab model. A simple point cloud, which is also always added when creating a new scene. And my object has a simple material shader with some metallic property set. The first thing that I'm going to do now is go to render properties and change the render engine from EV to cycles. And also be sure that GPU compute is enabled. If it's set to CPU, change it to EPU. And if you don't have that option, you need to go to Edit, Preferences, System, and be sure that CUDA or OpticX is enabled. Also that your NVIDIA card is selected. If that's not the case, you will still be able to use the CPU, but rendering will be slower. So also when you're here, you will see that the max samples for the viewport at default will be rather a high value. Also for the renders, what I like to do is change it to 128 and to 56 here for the renders. And also be sure that the noiser is set to OpticX. So now when I render this out, I get this kind of flat image, which certainly can be better. What I like to do to quickly set up some lighting is using Hdri maps, which you can easily find online. For example, here I'm on the site Polyhaven. You can find them in different categories, being indoor, outdoor, studio. You can also see with each Hdri how the basic material reacts. So using these maps isn't that difficult. First we go to the world properties. And at the color property, we click on the yellow round icon and select the environment texture. You press open and go to the folder where the maps are stored. And I choose, for example, this one. Next, I'm going to disable the point light here. And when we now render, you will see our image is already a lot better. We change this to viewport shading so we can see it in real time. If I change it to another one, for example, you can already see that it's already a lot better. You have like these kind of soft shadows, highlights depending on where the light falls. You can see that even with a simple material, the quality is already a lot better. We can also use outdoor mobs. So here, for example, as it's an outdoor sunny scene, we have natural hard shadows. And in most cases that is something you not always want, and why they say it's better to take photos outdoor when there is overcast. And we can also use overcast scenes. So 2 quick bonus steps regarding transparency is the first one. So when you go to the render properties, film and enable transparent. The background will be transparent, but we still have the ground between. So we can select the ground plane. Go to object properties, visibility, and click it open and enable shadow catcher. So now you can see the shadows also have some kind of transparency. So this is very handy if we render that out. And we have, for example, a Photoshop example, you will see as the shadow has some transparency, it also blends nicely with the background. So the second tip is regarding rotating the environment map. So we can influence how the shadows will fall. For that we go to shading. We make sure the viewport shading is active. We see our little node setup, which is set to world. It could be that it's set to object, so you need to change it to the world in that case. Then we press Shift A, you search and add mapping. We connect the vector by dragging it here to the vector here. And we press Shift A again. We search for texture coordinate. Connect generated to vector. Now it renders correctly. We will now rotate the Z. because you can see we have this Z here, and we rotate it, you can see we can now change the direction of the shadow.